Hi, if you're a Taurus born April 20th to May 20th, what can you expect for the month of April 2017? Let's tune in and find out. Okay, so you've got some work cut out for you, Taurus. The good news is you can see exactly what needs to be done, and you're going to be able to have the time and the energy and the solution to be able to correct it. So it's not a big deal. Whatever you're working on, it's just going to take you some time to move forward and to get it done. But I see you handling things and managing it. And it reminds me of a little bit like having to be in the trenches and really kind of do the work. But you're going to see progress, and so that's going to make you feel good. And by the end of the month, you're just going to feel like, wow, job well done. So it's good. So whatever you're working on, Taurus, just keep going forward. You've got a clear path, and like I said, there's some challenges, but you know exactly how to handle them. So that's a good thing. Well, let's start with our relationships. For those of you that are in a romantic relationship, let's look and see what April has in store for you. So there's a really nice connection, and some of it may be around. There may be some issues with somebody that you love. There may be a medical situation that your romantic partner is going through, or there's interesting kind of energy. So there could be potentially either some that you're dealing with a medical issue, your partner and you, and that is involved in your romance, the person that you're connected with romantically. And in this month, you're going to get some resolutions and answers for that. If you're not in your partner doesn't have a medical issue going on, then it feels like I could interpret what I just saw as, you know, that this love is good for each other, right? Like it's good medicine, like it's good for each other. So I'm not quite sure how to take what I just saw, whether that means there is actually a physical challenge with one of you and your love is right there supporting you, or that just it's good medicine for each of you. Kind of a bizarre thing to start out with, but you know, I'm just the messenger. So let's see what else is available for you for the month of April for you and your partner. There's a lot of camaraderie. I really feel like this really strong heart connection for the two of you. There's also it feels like some things on the fringes that have to be worked out or aired out. Now, what's really interesting is we have a couple signs that are going retrograde this month. You know, Venus is still retrograde, but it's going to move forward on April 15th. And so anything that kind of the challenges you've had to go through, you'll start to get some more clarity at the end of the month with romance in relationship to Venus's support. Saturn goes retrograde April 6th to August 26th. And that also has you review your relationships. It has you look on your long-term goals. It has you kind of create a new attitude towards obstacles. So in terms of your romantic life, this is something that you may be reviewing as well over the next couple of months. You know, is he the one, or should I stay with this person, or is this the right? Is this how I'm supposed to feel? Or it may be the reverse, where are they into me as much as I'm into them, right? It's one of those kind of conversations. The good news is that there's nothing for you to kind of do other than just keep being open and keep just being loving. And it feels like whatever's going on the sides is just going to kind of work itself out. Not really seeing a breakup here. So I feel like it's just kind of, you know, getting it to hit on all cylinders, or if you already are, to keep it that way. All right, so it really feels good. So I just feel like April's just an extension of kind of sharpening the relationship, making it a little bit better. For those of you that are single and interested in a romantic relationship, let's see what April has in store for you. The first half of the month, not really loving it. I'm sort of seeing like, you know, some storm clouds, just like a little kind of flat energy around it. Towards the end of the month, actually like around the 24th to the 30th, there's a lot of positive energy. Now, we do have a Libra full moon April 10th and 11th, and depending on the time zone that you're in, that, you know, Libra is really with partnerships and relationships, so that could help to open up some new energy for you as well. And you have actually Taurus, a new moon April 26th, and that's really, it feels like the one that could bring in or usher in new love for you. So that new moon in Taurus, April 26th, could really affect your romance and give you a great shot at being able to find love and keep love. Okay, awesome. All right, so now let's look at your money. For those of you interested in money that are Taurus, let's see what April has in store for you. Well, I just feel like it's just piling up, and in other words, money coming in. I feel like, Taurus, generally, you guys have a good solid energy in terms of being able to manifest money. I feel like there is something that you may be laying out for. It could be a wedding, it could be a trip with your significant other, but it feels like it has to do with romance and vacation. So I feel like you may be saving up for a trip. And after all, it is your birthday this month, Taurus. So those of you half of the second half of April and the first half of May. So that energy could also be about you being able to go on a vacation for your birthday, or celebrating your birthday, or spending something on yourself. So I see a lot of money come in, and or having a lot of money would be a better way to put it, and that you be able to take some of that money and be able to spend it on yourself for something that's enjoyable. So maybe that you're saving for a trip and you set it aside, but it does feel like whatever you're spending it on, it feels good, and it feels like, wow, I really deserve this. So I like that. Okay, let's see if there's anything else about money. Yeah, there's a new creative energy that you may have an opportunity. You may be, this creative energy is at your work, it's in your career. It could even be that you're asked to fill in for somebody else, or to take a new position, or given more responsibility. I feel like this is a good thing. Even if your pay is not increased yet, but you're just taking on more responsibility, take it on, because I feel like people are watching you to see how much you can handle. And then it feels like the rewards will come, and more at the end of the month or in the beginning of next month. So I feel like you just go ahead and do what you're being asked to do. As they say in the gambler's world, like bet on the come, right? It's going to happen. So I feel like this opportunity is good for you. So go ahead and take it and move forward with it. Okay, so let's look at anything else with the finance, if there's anything else that... Okay, so there's also, just keep trusting your instincts about investments. I wouldn't add anything new at this time, because, Venus retrograde ends April 15th, but then we have Mercury retrograde that starts April 9th to May 3rd. Now, you got to live your life, right? And all these retrogrades are sometimes can be a bit of a pain to kind of worry about. The biggest thing is that, you're really not supposed to sign contracts, because the Mercury planet is about communication. And when it changes from April 9th to May 3rd, when it goes retrograde, things can be kept from us. We can miss them. They can fall through the cracks. And then when you get on the other side of it, you go, oh, I didn't know that, or that little piece of information wasn't told to me. So I'm concerned around putting in new money into investments at this time. I would wait, if you could wait until middle of May, would be much better. What you already have, I don't know that I would change. I would just stay the course with it. Again, for these same reasons. It could be like, oh, that's too good to be true. It probably is too good to be true. So if you're looking at selling something or doing something, just make sure, if you're going to do it, read the fine print, double and triple check it, and that will be fine. I mean, and for those of you that, need to move during that time, it's not optimal to be moving just because of the having to sign paperwork and things like that. If you've already done it, it's not a problem, right? So let's say that you bought a house last month and you're closing this month. Well, that's different. You've already initiated it outside of the retrograde. Not a problem. Move full steam ahead. It's fine. But I wouldn't plan on buying a house or signing a contract during that time, just because it's the energy is tricky. Now, if you have to, then do the best you can. Get all of everything you can in your favor. Get all of the inspections done. Make sure you have an attorney look at the paperwork. Really just cross the T's and dot the I's to make sure that you're being protected during that time. Okay? So let's see about your health, Taurus. So I'm feeling a little bit like, just a little run down, a little bit in the throat and in the back of and into my back. And it just feels like you've been doing a lot, going a lot, being, busy. And it just feels like that can be kind of, a little bit of a drain. but I feel like this month there's more of a, you have more time. There's a little, feels like you can get a little bit more rest, and I feel like you can get back into your A game. So I feel like you're gonna, if you just recently got over something, you're gonna get better. I don't see it kind of continuing on and declining. There's a couple of you out there who are dealing with, it feels like eye issues or migraines, because my eyes are kind of like burning and my head hurts. I do think that sometimes retrogrades can also bring us information, so that Mercury retrograde April 9th through May 3rd, you may be able to see information about, wow, this is what's going on for me. This is why I have allergies, or I have headaches, that has to do with allergies, or it has to do with a medicine that I started 4 months ago, right? So there's information that retrogrades can bring in from things that were prior. So this, you may get that if you have something that's been going on for quite a while. You may get actually some answers that you're looking for. Okay, let's see if there's anything unexpected for you this month. We also, I do want to mention a little bit more about the Libra full moon, April 10th or 11th, depending on where you live. For you, that's actually an opportunity for you to really feel close to your loved one. It really feels like it has to do with relationships, and it really feels like there's there may be some of you that gets a little bit of good luck that falls your way that time. You also have to be careful, because it's kind of like, you know, the best of times, the worst of times. You've ever had those days like Christmas morning, you wake up and it's so amazing, and you know, by the afternoon you're fighting. It's like almost like so much energy that it kind of goes over the top. I don't know if you've ever had those things, but it's kind of like the best of times and the worst of times. So you just kind of want to be on guard for that, because there's so much energy that it could like explode. So you want to make sure that, you know, you guys are pretty much, Taurus can really be balanced and knows how to pull back. Doesn't mean you don't have a temper, but there's a, you know, you're very much in control of who you are. So around that full moon energy, enjoy, just, you know, watch the shadows, right? And then the Taurus new moon on April 26th, we already talked about being able to bring in new love, as well as new ideas. And this could also generate the new position that I was talking about, where you may be asked or invited to step in. You may be asked to join a board or a specific club. You may be asked to participate in something like, if you have a homeowners association or your child's game, or something at work, you may be invited to join that. And it could also be something very important. It could be something where you're being invited to speak, or you're being invited to give a presentation because you're somebody of notoriety that has, you know, a great insight that other people are looking for. So just know that there's some opportunities. It could even be that you're being asked to teach somebody else something that's really important, and you're somebody who's very skilled or successful. So just know that these opportunities are happening around that new moon, April 26th. Okay, and let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, the other thing is taking care of yourself this month is coming back around again. So you're being asked to really take care of yourself, to enjoy yourself. Don't be afraid to, you know, unplug from society, unplug from people, and kind of hibernate to get your energy back. It feels like that might be important for you. You know, retrogrades, all these planets that are retrograde, is a really good time to recharge, reconnect, redo. You know, so if you feel like going in, it would be a natural thing to want to kind of like be a little more introverted this month. So don't make it mean anything. Now, I know that a lot of Taurus can be that way anyway, so I don't want you to go gloomy on me, right? Like, don't go into depression. Make sure that you connect with the people that you need to connect with, that make you feel good, that bring light and life into your world, and then it feels like you'll really be able to balance and have it all. So all in all, Taurus, it really feels like a great month. There's a lot of things that are opening up for you, especially in the area of relationships, and a lot of self-satisfaction coming in through your work and the things that you're doing and the due diligence that you give to the world. And it also feels like there's some acknowledgement coming back to you towards the end of the month, an appreciation, and somebody nodding their head and going, great job, now, you know, we're going to advance you here. So all in all, Taurus, I think it's a fabulous month. So have a wonderful April, everyone, and I look forward to connecting with you again next month.